welcome to my podcast, The Life of a Young, Struggling Schizophrenic. And that young, struggling schizophrenic would be none other than myself. As I said in the introduction, this is kind of going to be a space for me to talk about some of my delusions, hallucinations, what's gone on in my life, to kind of tell my story and just a space to vent. Now, it's been over a year since I wanted to start this podcast, and since the introduction came out, so if you're getting a notification that it's here, and you're listening to this, thank you for being here, and just putting up with my rambling. I feel like that might be a lot of what it's going to be in the beginning, but I'm not sure. A little bit about myself. I am now 25 years old. I got diagnosed with schizophrenia around the age 18. I had a predisposition to schizophrenia when I was 14. They diagnosed me with it. They found out that it's actually schizoaffective bipolar type, which means I have schizophrenia plus bipolar. So it's just a whole crazy slew. I call it my mental health stew, because it's not quite a soup, it's not fine and nice, it's messy, it's chunky. Flavor's alright though. I've got schizophrenia, bipolar, borderline personality disorder, ADHD, ADD, anxiety, depression, pretty much you name it and I've got it. I don't use these as an excuse, or I try not to, but knowing what it's called and some of the things that can be a symptom of that is an easier way for me to overcome it. A lot of what I'm going to be talking about in this podcast is just my current life, a lot of my spiritual practices, and just kind of the things that I notice and the things that I go through. I guess it's going to be kind of like a journal. I don't know if I'll ever have people on to talk with me. I guess if you follow this podcast through to the end, you'll know as soon as I do. So I'm just sitting outside a shelter here in Spokane, Washington. I've been in Washington since 2018. We'll get into that at another time. But I've been homeless since I've aged out of the foster care system at 18 years old. I did have an apartment in Seattle for about 6 months, and that's an interesting story in and of itself. But it's something that I'm dealing with, and it's something that I hope that eventually I can help others with. So it might not be the most private recording of a podcast. It might not be like set up in a studio, because I don't have a studio. I'm homeless. But it's something that hopefully very soon that I'll be conquering. So I don't know. I don't really know where to begin. A lot of people are starting to come outside, so I might go ahead and cut it short, but let you guys know that I will be podcasting now, and hopefully I'm hoping to do it at least once a week, maybe twice. But once I find a space in which I can record better, it'll be a lot smoother. So tune in and get ready for the ride. That's all I've got. Thanks.